The Trump appeals case went before the appellate court last week. And by the time it was over, the closing arguments, the Democrat lawyers, have you been paying attention to this, Connor? The Democrat lawyers were begging the judges not to sanction them. For you guys that don't know what sanctioning is disciplining or penalizing the lawyers for legal or ethical rules, misconduct, filing frivolous claims, violating court procedures, and guess what? Unethical behavior. They could get fined, they could get suspended, they could get disbarred. I hope to God it happens, and they're responsible for attorney fees. So guys, for you guys that don't know what an appeals case is, so both sides get to go in front of these 5 judges, and they get to plead their case on if the case was worth hearing in the first place, okay? And the case I'm referring to is the Trump fraud case with Letitia James, and he's over what's it called with his properties? He's overvaluing his properties and all that BS that was happening, okay? So they argued for like a myriad of things, but the best part was when the judges kept interrupting the Democrat lawyers and they asked them to find another time in history. Ready? This is one of the cases. And Kelly, you have one of the videos that I sent you, right? From the appellate court. From let's check in Slack because it's in there. Keep scrolling up. Kelly, it's going to be the appellate court. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep go.
You're giving Rob trauma flashbacks.
Lower, higher. Rob, I sent it to you in your text. It's in your text.
Down.
Yeah, wait, I sent it. Who did I send it to? Hold on, because I have to find this, guys. Because this is, what's up? Ooh, yeah, because there's an appellate court. God, who did I send it to? Did I send it to Amy or did I? Oh, it might have been Rob. Hold on, let me see. Because I have to have this. Yeah, hold on, Willis. I think it was Rob. Oh, okay. Here I go. Copy link. On my own. So, guys, and I'm sorry because I honestly thought I did, but this. All right, Kelly, I sent it to you. Okay, perfect. All right, sorry, guys. So, I apologize. So, the judges asked the Democrat lawyers to find one other time in history where the person who took the loan, Donald Trump, was able to call the bank that he borrowed from, and that bank showed up in court and said, yeah, we weren't defrauded. Everything is good. Think about that. Never. It took them 2 hours to argue. Nothing came about it, okay? Then the judges asked if they'd ever seen an attorney general, Letitia James, that beauty, prosecute a case where there was no damage to the public, no damage to the person you claimed was defrauded, and no actual malice committed by the person who took the loan. Guess how long? 6 hours, and they couldn't prove it. And by the end, the judges realized that they didn't have an instance of any of this happening, okay? And then by the time that they were done, the judges said, we don't even know if this case should have been brought, and all of you might be sanctioned for bringing it in a malicious manner. Think about this. Obviously, guys, they did all this in front of the media. Connor, everything was like, oh, he's a fraud. These were talking points during an election when it was getting heated up. You know what I'm saying, Amy? So to me, there's a little bit of this is election interference, a.k.a. cheating, which I've said in the past. One of the judges said that they have come to believe, I don't know the name of the judge, but Kelly will play this thing so you guys can see the vibe of the court. Since a case like this has never been brought in the history of the country, including New York, it was only brought because the person was running for the president of the United States. Okay, that would not only violate multiple regulations regarding the law, but would also constitute, like I said, election interference. So Trump, even though he was found guilty in the court of law, is going to get all his money back, okay? And a lot of people are going to get in trouble. And if they're found guilty, I think that these people belong in prison. This is lawfare at the highest level. By the way, and I'm going to have Kelly play this right now. The president of Deutsche Bank showed up to court and he said, we weren't defrauded. Okay? Here, think this out, Brendan. He showed up and was like, no, this is Donald Trump. We've given him 21 other loans. And they're like, we know he overvalued it. But you know what? That's okay because he's going to pay it back with interest because we trust him. It's Donald Trump. So I'm going to give you guys, how long is the video, Kels? A minute 40? Let's play. Guys, this will give you a little taste of what these Democrats have been getting eviscerated in court at the appeals case. Go ahead, play the clip.
Underneath all these questions, the question of mission creep has 6312 morphed into something that it was not meant to do.
All the defendants repeatedly violated.
Ms. Vail, can you identify any previous case in which the Attorney General sued under Executive Law 6312 to upset a private business transaction that was between equally sophisticated partners.
And it was using.
I'm sorry, but what's being described sounds an awful lot like a potential commercial dispute between private actors.
I mean, you've got two really sophisticated parties in which no one lost any money. The case that you cite involved where there was damage to consumers, damage to the marketplace. You've got a scheme to get unsophisticated consumers to take out home loans. You got a collapse of Lehman Brothers. You don't have anything like that here.
And that's something you must address, because there has to be some limitation on what the Attorney General can do in interfering in these private transactions, as Justice Friedman said, that where people don't claim harm. So what is the limiting principle? The immense penalty in this case is troubling. So how do you tether the amount that was assessed by Supreme Court to the harm that was caused here, where the parties left these transactions happy about how things went down?
Historical backdrop to this law. How do we draw a line, or at least put up some guardrails to know when the AG is operating well within her admittedly broad sphere of 6312, and when she is going into an area that wasn't intended for her jurisdiction?
Guys, this is lawfare. I'm so happy that this is out into the public because you guys got to see. Rob, have you been following this at all?
I originally followed the first case.
Yes.
When they were prosecuting him for overvaluing Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Which, if you've ever been to Mar-a-Lago and you've been to that area, there is no way that property is only worth $18 million. I will tell you this much. You can drive up and down that coast, and each house in that area are worth $20 to $25 million.
Minimum.
Just the homes. Yeah. Now you're talking about a resort on, I don't know how many acres of land it is, but it's prime real estate. And it's prime real estate because the area that it is in not only faces the intercoastal, the waterway that is on the other side of Palm Beach, it also faces the beach. Yeah. So he has both waterways, views of both waterways. We've been to Mar-a-Lago. You've been several times. We went together. Yeah. You walk around that place and you go, there is no way that this place is only worth $18 million. So just basing it on that, I go, well, this is a BS case.
Yeah, and dude, and when I say it's lawfare, plain and simple, just to interfere with the election. Like, and what boggles my mind is the fact that even in the lower courts, these corrupt, disgusting judges and all these prosecutors, all of them, Alvin Bragg, who's the other one that was banging the other dude? The guy that is on the run right now. Fannie Willis. Yeah, Willis. All these people. And what drives me crazy is besides the American people that are not stupid, unless you're a liberal, brainwashed sheep, it's like, how are they letting them get away with this? She brought this case. They know it was bogus, Connor. It gets to the highest level. You know how much time and energy you're wasting to just the people and the money and what you're doing to this guy? And it's obvious. But you know what? It worked for them, Amy, because it got to the point where now the talking points is he's convicted this, he's of this. Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Don't interrupt. Go ahead.
There is literally, I can't show this to you guys at home. I can show my computer, I guess, but you guys can look. Here's Mar-a-Lago. I went on Zillow. Yeah. Here's Mar-a-Lago right here, this area right here. You look, and there's a property that is the street over. It's a home. So this is just a home on Woodbridge Avenue, 6 bedrooms, 9 bath, 13,000 square feet. It is 2 streets over from Mar-a-Lago, and that property is valued and being sold for $45 million.
Okay.
How can you possibly tell me that a single-family home with 6 bedrooms is worth $45 million, but Mar-a-Lago is only worth $18 million?
I mean, you could have multiples of those inside Mar-a-Lago.
Yes!
Put it in perspective for
Cal,
us.
I'm going to send this to you on Slack.
Yes,
the new valuetainment headquarters that Patrick put out a video about. What did
$25 million.
But that's on like 11 acres with 1 building and an airplane hangar.
Yeah.
I work out of that building now. It's beautiful, and things we're going to be able to build over there are going to be spectacular to see. But for that to be $25 million and Mar-a-Lago that is many acres larger with a whole resort on it, to be 18 is ridiculous. And everybody knew it was ridiculous from the moment they said it.
Yeah.
But like Vinny said, the only reason they went with that was for the point of saying, oh, Trump's a convicted felon, he's a fraudster. Then they were trying to bankrupt him, because I believe the penalty in this that he's now appealing is like $434 million.
Wow.
And
on top of all the other settlements and fees he had to pay.
Because great point, because he still has to pay all those lawyers, even if he wins, bro. Like, this is just, guys, it was never about justice. It's about using the legal system to target a political opponent, meaning the Democratic machine, the leftist, disgusting, deep state involved as well. They all get together, bro. That's why the law is such a tricky, manipulative little thing, because they can find it just to get to that point, bro. Just to get to that point to try to ruin somebody's life. And that should scare the poop out of us. You know, Kelly, did you feel that, Jake? Yes, guys, that scared the poop. That was that 8-minute hold. I'm doing it, bro. Guys, it should scare you guys at home, because if they can do this at this level with them, who the hell are you? Who are we, bro? If they want to get you, they could get you. And Kelly, whenever you're ready, show that whole bottom square part, guys. That whole bottom part. I'm going to wait. Go for it, Kel. Or go for it, Jake. Guys, and Jake, lower that whole bottom square. That whole bottom square, that's all Mar-a-Lago. That's all Mar-a-Lago. That house on the top right, 2 streets over, like it's up, right there to the left, that's worth $45 million. Compare that to freaking Mar-a-Lago. And the fact that they let it get that far makes me have zero trust. That's why when people go, well, he was convicted. It's the law. When all these people sue, I'm like, bro, I don't believe the government, and I don't trust our judicial system at all. So just what? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, Brandon.
You know, I heard the greatest analogy the other day from Tucker Show. He said that you know, like they have those little horns you blow when you're out in the wild, that like it's the predator horn or something.
Yes.
Like you make the game come out. So yeah, like if you're in the desert, looks like it's
Animal would be attracted to that.
So he said what Trump did was like that signal. So if you're in the desert, you know, it looks like it's all harmless. There's nothing out there that could kill you, but you blow that horn, suddenly there's a ton of life and activity around that, like all of it could kill you. So it's like these people in this system it's been in existence for a long time. Like the fact that they use the lawfare system to take people down, but it was more subtle. But when Trump came out, the media, the lawfare, the intelligence agencies went from this thing that we're like, oh yeah, I'm sure it does do that, to it would start blatantly doing that, and it became like abundantly clear that they weaponized that stuff.
And is it crazy? I want to get your point of view too. And it's, bro, and I've said this before, God's in charge of everything. God picked this orange spray tan. I love him to death. All like to be the guy to bro. No, some people like you knew. I knew. I was in the military. He pulled back the curtain, bro, and now you all get to see all the brother Republicans as well. The Democrat, the Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, they're all connected, and if they want you, they're going to come get you. Chuck Schumer said the intelligence community has 6 ways this Sunday to come after you. And I love that you said that, Brandon. They're not hiding. They're not in the dark. They're not in the shadows anymore.
Forced them out.
They forced them out, and now they're out in the open, and nobody can say shit either. That's power.
And
that's power.
Think of the unique traits and qualities you had to have to do this. Like, he had to be rich enough to not be under threat by their system. You know, he had to be funny. He had to be charismatic.
Yeah.
Like, Andy, you had to be relentless and, like, you know, pursuing this thing in the face of all this. Like, who else in the world would have kept going with all the stuff that's been thrown at him?
Nobody. It couldn't have been a politician. It had to be a guy that learned from Roy Cohn: attack, never admit defeat. I watched the show, the movie The Apprentice. Horrible movie, but those little tokens, the attack. They didn't think, bro, he's a cutthroat businessman. They picked the wrong enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, he chose his enemy wisely. They chose the wrong one, because that guy is not stopping, Brandon. I don't care. Amy, what are you gonna say?
You know, you guys have pretty much covered it all. My thoughts are just, I'm really glad that it didn't work, because I remember as all of this was unfolding, like, yes, obviously the whole convicted felon thing was weaponized. It was a really big liberal talking point. But for anyone who was like, you know, they liked Trump, they already had a good feeling about him. Honestly, seeing that mugshot photo radicalized his base. Like, I've seen so many people who are like, I like Trump before, but after seeing that, nothing could have radicalized me more than seeing that mugshot. Obviously, up until he was nearly assassinated and then stood up and said, fight. But it didn't work. It didn't turn anybody who was in his base against him. It was a liberal talking point for a while, but these people aren't very smart. Nope. They're not good at covering their tracks. They're used to being able to weaponize their power, but as soon as it's going to be, you know, it's held up in a court of law and they're looking at this and seeing, like, is there any actual merit to this? Of course there isn't. And now their entire story is going to collapse.
Yep.
And it's just going to make them look even more stupid than had they even initiated this thing to begin with.
Yep.
It's going to even take them further away from their purpose because now they're going to be discredited. And it's setting a legal precedent to where things like this can't happen in the future. It's not going to be able to fly. Because to your point, how many average, everyday people who don't have the resources to be able to fight back, how many of those people have been silenced? How many of those people had lawfare weaponized against them? So this could actually be a really good thing if the legal precedent is set for it to possibly never happen again. Much more difficult to do so.
Great point, Amy. And I think, you know how the left right now, Connor, is so shocked that this African-American base, the African-American, well, let me say it like him, African-American, he puts the he really, dude, it hurts my throat. But the shock and the awe, the surprise of the left going, how are all these African-American young men, how are they going to Trump? Because that same system, that same lawfare that has been going after them for all these freaking decades, it's coming after him. And they're like, oh, snap. He's one of us. And I absolutely love it. And guess what? All the Barack Obama speeches yelling at African-American young men going, your brothers got to vote. It ain't working, Barack. All right? Go talk to Larry Sinclair. Anyway, I digress. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.